That's yes, Kamal.
You are a project manager of a NHQ project company. This project is to create a new condo building in your city and is scheduled to last for 10 months. Your project team has just decomposed all project deliverable for the construction project.
Mhm.
What is the document that decomposition creates? Organizational breakdown structure, work breakdown structure, bill of material, resource breakdown structure. I think this is WBS, work breakdown
Very
structure.
true.
Mindy is a Scrum Master for Project L, which is in its fifth iteration and has a velocity of 97 points. After the last sprint review, a stakeholder let her know that one information radiator seems outdated. What should Mindy do? Ask team member to investigate the information radiator, refer stakeholder to weekly report, invite stakeholder to daily stand-up. Don't do nothing. Information radiator are by definitions are accurate. I think this is the first option we should go with that because definitely information radiator is also important. Like it cannot be done daily. We cannot invite the stakeholder in daily stand-up, weekly report. Also, we can refer, but definitely there is a purpose of information radiator as well. So that should also be correct. So we should investigate that one, I believe. Eric is a Scrum Master for a project, a software project, and is performing sprint planning for next sprint with the product owner. Chris Eric has identified an epic in the product backlog that has several very valuable feature, but is too large to include in the sprint because the story point associated with the epic are greater than team's velocity. Cois wants to include the epic in next sprint. What would be the best activity to perform next? Business value assessment, task decomposition, incremental development, rolling web planning. So currently they are planning for the next sprint. They has identified an epic in the product backlog that has several variable features, but it is too large. Okay. I think what I can say, but this can be task decomposition, but it's not a task decomposition as well.
Mhm.
But business value assessment, we can say.
Okay. So if you have a
But
bigger,
yeah,
if you have a bigger task, okay, that is that you cannot accommodate in one, let's say, sprint, or maybe so it has multiple features. So it is as equivalent as you have you know, a big deliverable in the traditional projects. Okay.
okay.
So what you do with a deliverable in a traditional environment, that you decompose it. You decompose it into various work packages, right?
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, for the epic, you will decompose it into stories, user stories, okay,
Mm-hmm.
which will be of smaller size.
Mm-hmm.
So just like you do here, you decompose it into work packages, okay, multiple work packages. Maybe you decompose it into 2, 3 work packages, okay, and then each work package you will have further activities or tasks associated with it, okay. So you may have activities here, okay, activity, and here in the story, for each story then you may have tasks, you decompose it into various tasks. Task 1, task 2, okay. So then you may have, you may assign like, so in this way you can do it. So epic would be bigger, but you can decompose it into multiple stories and then you develop each story further. So that could be your decomposition can work in this way, that you decompose an epic into stories and then further into tasks. Like the way you decompose a deliverable into work packages and then into the activities. I think now it should be clear for you, right?
Yeah, so then it will be the task decomposition like that.
True. Why not incremental development?
Actually, this is also not for the contract because they did not mention like the delivery they need separately or something like that.
So if you recall,
This is just a sprint.
yeah, but if you recall, um, let's remember that what we said about, let's say incremental, if you have a feature, okay, you deliver this A feature in one sprint, then you have a B feature. You deliver B feature in the second sprint, but what you do, you add what you delivered in the previous sprint. So if you say sprint one, this was your sprint one, A delivered. Sprint two, you added B and on top of A. And then sprint three, you added what? In A plus B, you delivered C. So let's say your epic was having three features, A plus B plus C. The way she is saying, Eric has identified an epic in the product backlog that has several valuable features, but it is too large to be included in a sprint because the story points associated with the epic are greater than the team velocity. So if you consider A plus B plus C, maybe uh, the story points would be maybe 96 for all these three features. So what you can do to split it into, I mean, three sprints, okay? So in fact, you deliver like maybe 20, let's divide it by 3, 96 by 3, how much it will be? 32, 32, right? 32, 32, and 32. So what will happen in this way? So if your team velocity, let's say, was 40, right? So you cannot all the way include an epic of size 96 in the sprint one, right?
Okay.
So what you did, your team velocity was for that 40, let's say, and so you could not. So you split this full epic into three sprints, and then you said, okay, since my team velocity is 40, so I can easily accommodate feature A, okay, that is of story points, let's say 32, and I can deliver it in sprint one. Then in sprint two, I will deliver this feature, which will be additional 30. I will be having my own velocity, right? My capacity also I need to look at. So I will deliver 32 additional and we will integrate and deliver this one together on top of it. So this is what we are incrementing, right? So this is how we are incrementing.
Hmm.
So I think, this is the better option because again, remember what we did last, that epic, we said epic can be decomposed into stories and then Stories can be decomposed into tasks. So the only problem that I have with that option was that it should be this way. Epic cannot be decomposed directly into tasks. Okay, you got my point, right? So,
Understood.
so Epic can be decomposed into stories and then into tasks, right? So this is my point of
Mm-hmm.
view. So I think we should take incremental approach. What do you think? Or if you want, we will go by your answer and then we'll.
But yeah, ultimately it's reflected in a task because see, the incremental is the completion of epic. Incremental will go with completion of epic itself. But here, epic has more feature, okay, and it's too large.
Hmm.
So it's more relevant to task decomposition. If we will complete epic itself, then maybe okay, this is incremental, like one full feature
I would
having
agree.
more.
I would agree with the word decomposition here because, in fact, when we split it into many sprints, what we did, we decomposed it. We decomposed it, right? We took the
Mm,
feature by feature approach because it had three features,
mm,
let's say. So we decomposed it into three features which will be delivered separately in each sprint, right? So this is what we do.
right.
We split it into feature wise into three sprints. So we did it. We did actually break one large piece of Epic into small three pieces, of each feature, right? So that is decomposition it for itself. Okay, let's go by this and then we'll
Mhm.
review.
Okay.
Wait, wait.
You are a project manager of a customer relationship management. You are a project manager of a customer relationship management program that will involve people from all part of your organization. Your organization team, your project team will include a representative of people from all part of the company. Functional manager need to know when their work will be released from your project. Which of the following is the subsidiary project plan that document this information? Resource management plan, staffing management plan, WBS cost control. I think this is staffing management plan.
Yes, true.
You are a project manager of large international project. Your project team will be traveling to 4 different countries to complete the project. You have required project team to complete training regarding custom, laws, and language for each country they will be traveling to. What theory proposes that an understanding of the culture, local language, and colloquialism enable people to have a better understanding of the country they are working in. A Spire-Wolf hypothesis, ethnocentrism, culture shock, utility function. I think something it looks strange. So the Spire-Wolf hypothesis.
So it is your team will be traveling to four different countries to complete the work. So you have required the team to complete training regarding the custom law and language for each country they will be traveling to. So what theory proposes that understanding of culture, language, and colloquialism enables people to have better understanding of the country they are working in. Yeah, cannot be cultural shock. It cannot
Cannot
be.
be utility function. That's
Yeah, cannot be.
yeah.
So the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis means that each people who uh, who have different languages they speak, so they look at the word differently. So people from Arabic Pennsylvania, like people who belong to Arabic countries or they speak Arabic language, they will look at the word differently than people who are English speaking. And same goes for Chinese. Okay, so language has a lot of weightage and your perspective. It makes your perspective. So yeah, once you understand the languages, then it helps you to look at the word from that perspective. Yeah, it will help you. Let's look at this. Okay, read.
Oscar is a Scrum Master for Project X, which is in its fifth iteration. Recently, several members of his team were sent specialized training camp to improve their skills. How can Oscar best determine if their training was successful? By checking the exam score, by asking them how training went, by tracking their performance improved, by asking their manager. So I think they can only determine the training was successful by tracking how their performance improves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Although exam scores are there, but definitely if they are not able to understand they are not able to improve the performance.
yeah. This goes with
So that's
people
me.
who take PMP training and then also they appear in the exam, they pass the exam. But once they do their job, they forget everything. They don't follow
Yes,
those processes, principles, values, then it is of no use, right? Yeah, let's see.
exactly. The project manager has a team member. Yeah. The project manager has a project team member whose work is consistently not aligned with the quality metrics as required by the customer. This discrepancy results in rework and wasted time. So, what should project manager do? Adjust quality, implement corrective action, discipline the team member, and update the quality management plan. I think implement the corrective action.
That's a repeat question.
You are a project manager for in a week matrix. You have recently completed project schedule. You must now get project schedule approved so the resources can be officially assigned to their project work. Which one is the following stakeholder will need to approve the project schedule? That is only the functional manager.
Yeah,
So health has a scrum Heath is a Scrum Master for Project O, which is in its 9th iteration, and to deployment is on budget and has a velocity of 93 points. Heath is preparing for the meeting with the stakeholder who prefer to speak a lot frequently to detriment the other discussions. What should Heath do to prepare? Remove the stakeholder from the meeting. I wish. Ask the task ask the team member to interrupt the stakeholder frequently, review the agenda, and have the plan, keeping the stakeholder on the task, change the meeting time. I think the C option is more professional
yeah.
because first we cannot remove stakeholder, we cannot even change the meeting time, and
You cannot create, you cannot also
up
disturb him.
yeah.
Yeah,
Donald is a Scrum Master for Project A, which is in its 9th iteration and has a velocity of 92 story points. and is 1 week behind schedule. Recently, new stakeholder joined the project who is unfamiliar with agile practices. What should Dorand do? Send stakeholder link for agile, invite stakeholder on daily, ask the product owner to speak with the stakeholder, meet with the stakeholder and walk them through the basics. Oh, what he should do now, because actually the new project stakeholder joined and he is little bit unfamiliar.
Yeah.
So it is not the duty for the manager to train him, but at least to understand it, maybe he can do the walkthrough of the process.
Yeah. But the thing is, you are you are right. The answer is right. But you need to also train the stakeholders. By the way,
Uh,
as a PM, it's your what I would say, it's your responsibility somehow to educate and train customer also, the stakeholders, all stakeholders. It's not your team members. It's also that you will influence uh, the customer and the stakeholders as well.
mhm.
Yeah. So this is how you will be more beneficial.
Okay. And agile development team working application is nearing end of the first sprint cycle. Before the demo with the customer, team wants to ensure that developed stories are verified so that each work precisely how the customer expected is to work. Which of the following can help the team to accomplish this? Exploratory test, unit test, acceptance test, and scripted test. I think that can be done through unit testing as well.
Okay. Unit testing means that something you are developing, okay? So you will not write the code first, but you will write a test first, and then you will write a code that will pass the test.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is here the situation is the team want to ensure that the developed stories are verified. So it means that you already developed and then you want to verify so that everything works precisely how the customer expected it to work. So which criteria, which which acceptance criteria you will compare it with, right?
So that then it will be scripted test then, whatever we agreed and written.
What
Acceptance
about
is also
acceptance
there.
test?
Huh?
What about acceptance test?
Yeah, ultimately that sprint, the activity they will feature, they will accept it because as the deliverable, once how it will be, that will be completed once the stakeholder are accepting it. So
Uh,
with this point of view, like they are going to accept it, so acceptance test is more relevant.
mhm.
But initially we are here before the game we are sitting, before the meeting we are sitting. At least whatever we agreed and wrote down, so that can be scripted test.
No, it is done. Development is done. Look, read the question again. Before the demo to the customer, the team wants to ensure that the developed stories are verified so that each works precisely how
Uh,
customer wanted.
mhm. Understood. Then go. We will go with the acceptance then.
Okay. Now, The scripted test is what? Scripted test is something which you already have defined in your like test cases were written. Okay. So you scripted it that okay. This functionality is supposed to once it is tested should supposed to give this result. Okay. So you have this script ready. So you can actually have a automation around it. So you can feed it into the automated testing, and then all the features will be tested in by the automation tool, right? So it means that you already scripted it. So whatever is getting tested, it's line by line following one test execution plan.
Understood.
Yeah. So it could be that you have written for all these functionalities under testing, you have written some test cases, which is predefined test cases, and you are testing. Acceptance test. What would be the acceptance test in this case? Acceptance test would be, in my understanding,
Acceptance test.
acceptance. My understanding is in the user story that I have written, I have my own acceptance criteria defined. So, so if you want me to make sure that this is precisely how customer wanted, then I should go back to the story and then look into the acceptance criteria. And for each story, I need to make sure that it fulfills the acceptance criteria for that particular story, right? The software fulfills the story requirement, right?
Right.
But exploratory testing is something which is innovative. Like it gives you, as a tester, some flexibility which is not there in the scripted test. So, scripted test, you can give it to anybody. Okay, this is the test case. Check this software, and he will compare line by line what is the test, and he will compare software fulfills the test or no. However, the exploratory test is like exploration. So you are free, you are flexibly, you can be innovative in testing. You can think about testing in your own way, right? So it's not an exploratory test, and it's not a unit test. It could be acceptance test or it could be scripted test, right? But now we need to
Mm.
choose between acceptance test and scripted test. So what do you think? Then we'll look it.
Then apparently the accepted test is better. We should go with acceptance test.
Yeah. So acceptance test is basically what compares customer requirements with the software. What was the requirement and specification of a customer? Did we met these in the software? Met, finish.
Right,
But
right.
but your understanding should be clear now, right?
Right, understood, understood. Patricia is a Scrum Master for project in its 12 iteration with the velocity of 36 story points. The project manager approaches Patricia and asks why another risk management meeting is on their calendar. What Patricia most likely respond? Agile project are inherently risky and so more meeting is necessary. Project team is concerned about project may be slipping. Risk should be regularly assessed through project life cycle. Cancel the meeting. I think risk should be assessed throughout the life cycle is the best answer.
Yes. Mm.
You are a project manager in your organization. You has a budgeted at completion to 50,000 and is expected to last 10 months. Currently, the project ended 6 months and 40% in completed. So, but the project was expected to complete 60%. So you have spent 125,000 what is the cost performance index? So, like 100,000 work is done, but expectation was 150,000. So,
Look at the cost performance index, which means that
cost performance index,
for
like,
for 50% of the work, you should have spent 125, right? But you have completed 40% of the work.
exactly. So, 125,000 divided by 150,000. What do you say?
Yeah, true. Then how much it will be?
That we need to calculate.
Should be this one, right?
And yeah, it will be less than 0.8.
Not less.
Oh, less than 1. So,
Should be less than
I
1,
can
but should be 0.8, right?
0.8, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Day-to-day communication is vital to the success of a project. Not all communications can be done through email or text. There is a need for face-to-face discussion within a set time frame so that everyone can manage time wisely. So the lead PM, as a lead PM, you have decided to incorporate a daily meeting to include vital stakeholders and team members. What is the daily meeting called? Are you there?
Yes, 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 yes. The other problem. You have decided to incorporate a daily meeting to include vital stakeholder and team members. This is called what is what is this daily meeting called? So if the stakeholders are there, because normally stand-up meeting is between the team.
Yeah, daily.
So so I think that can be more for daily review meeting maybe.
Yeah, so that will be your daily stand-up, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it can be virtual if it is joined by virtual team members.
Mm.
You may read now.
Mike is the Scrum Master for Project X, which is on its fifth iteration. During the recent sprint, he noticed CZ, a junior developer, helping the team member who struggled a specific deliverable, and they submitted on time. What should Mike do next? I think that do nothing privately, CZ call out behavior, and daily stand up call out CZ behavior, something to model in the next retrospective. That I think last time we agreed on next retrospective.
Sure.
D option.
Yeah. Yes, come on. So you want me to read the
The
development? Yeah, read.
development team is working through their time box iteration. When their key stakeholder requests a significant change to their sprint goal directly from one of the team member. Okay. So, of the following option, which is not appropriate way to deal with the changing in the agile environment? Changes are made seamlessly and hidden from visibility. Changes is identifiable and traceable. The overall impact of change of the product need to be known. Compare the risk takeoffs for implementing the new feature. I think that is not the appropriate is the first one.
Good that you identified not word.
Yeah. Otherwise, most of the time I'm looking for the correct answer.
Yeah.
So Mary has recently joined the team that has been using Scrum and the project. Being new, Mary consulted Tom, the Scrum Master, who explained her the benefit of iterative delivery of value and time boxing each ceremony. Which of the following best describe time boxing? Working with the team and dry time box shape cubic, flexibility to expand the time to complete the many activities as possible, allowing flexibility in scope after agreed sprint goals, working with time fixed schedule for planned activities. I think that something I remember, but I am not sure. I will go with answer D.
Mhm.
The project management team is creating the project charter, and project management team is creating the project charter, and they are relying on several tools to help them. They want project charter to be accurate and to ensure its approval. Which one of the following is not the tool or technique that should be used in creating the project charter? Project product analysis, meeting, data gathering, expert judgment. First one is not the tool and technique.
Not a good.
The
Mm.
Wanda is the Scrum Master for Project O, which of its seven iterations and to its development and velocity of 53 points. During the recent team meeting, several team members were at odds with other regarding how best to proceed with specific problem. Wanda resolved the conflict, but now project velocity slipped to 14 points. This is what is the most likely cause for the loss of productivity. Without common conflict, team is not motivated, team has completed the backlog and does not have the enough work. Several team members left the team. Wanda uses the wrong strategy. So, several team members. Several team member left, we cannot say because it is not mentioned anywhere. Wrong strategy, it is, we cannot say straight away. Uh, so they are on its seventh iteration with velocity of 53 points. So maybe we can say maybe they are very close to some of the percentage, maybe 60, 70, 80%. Maybe team has completed the backlog and there is no enough work. Maybe we can assume. But
No,
without common
why?
conflict,
We don't know
team
how
is
many
not motivated.
iterations how many iterations were remaining, right?
Hmm.
Somehow they were doing well, but there was a conflict which Vanda has resolved. And
Hmm.
soon after that, the velocity has slipped down.
Hmm. Then there is a without common conflict, team is not motivated.
What about what about Vanda used some wrong strategy to resolve this conflict, which demotivated the team?
Actually, we can assume, but they did not mention with what strategy she or he. uh,
That you need to find out. This is the question. What is the most likely cause for the loss of productivity? Why we lost productivity? Why we dropped by 14 points in the velocity? Then these are the reasons. Vendor used wrong strategy, or maybe team members left, or team completed a backlog and does not have enough work, or without a common conflict, the team is not motivated. So what feels like, right?
So then we can say maybe his plan was not good or strategy was not good. We can
Yeah. Somehow she managed to
also.
resolve the conflict. However, that was not in the, maybe it was disliked, right? It was resolved but disliked, right?
Maybe it was like with this attitude, I am the boss. Okay, do this. So
But
maybe with
there
this
is
attitude,
there is there you are free to say I am the boss. You will be resolving the conflict in somebody's favor. However, it it may resolve the conflict, you know. However, someone might not like it, right? Someone
exactly,
will like
exactly.
it.
Hmm.
Looks like it is demotivating. The way she resolved it had some impact.
Nike is a Scrum Master for Project W, which is in its fifth iteration with velocity of 48 story points and is on budget. Recently, stakeholder approached to Nick to ask when Project W lesson learned will be documented. How Nick most likely to respond? Lesson learned are constantly documented and reviewed and retrospective. Lesson learned are documented in closing phase. Agile project do not collect lesson learned. So the lesson learned are documented on daily stand-up. So daily stand-up we are not documenting. Agile project do not collect lesson learned. This we cannot do.
Hmm. What?
So I think retrospective is the most appropriate way.
Yeah. Would you like to proceed with the next question? We are done with 20.
No, no, we have to do it around 30, I believe.
Okay,
Yesterday we
proceed.
committed because
Proceed.
you completed your sleep time and you are fresh.
Let's proceed. Yeah.
John is a junior developer for the project that is three iteration into its development and has a velocity of 94 story point. Halfway through the last sprint, the team completed all its tasks. So, senior developer Shelley told Josh to take an item from the top of the backlog. This confused Josh as this task is not assigned to this sprint. Why did Shelley ask John to take next from the backlog? Maybe stakeholder prioritize it. Team need to look busy. Team forgot to assign it into the sprint. Shelley asked Scrum Master to authorize it. Yeah, definitely. I think it depends on the priority of the task. So we cannot fix the task even in agile environment. So I think this is the first one.
This should be quick.
So Scrum team has been working together last year. Things have improved. Project is ahead of schedule and will end soon month early because team performance and growth. Team has grown as a group. Individual team member has improved their technical and software development skill. At this stage, in which stage, I think they are performing.
They are performing. Hmm.
Right?
Yeah. But the thing is, they are working together for last year. The things has improved. The project is ahead of schedule and one performance.
It should be adjourning because near the adjournment is near because the project is completed almost. But adjournment is not there.
No, the team is quite doing well, you know. We would say it is not a
Performing.
normal situation, it's a performing situation.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
are
yeah.
right. Yeah. It's not like somehow they manage to work with each other, you know. It's not like
Mm.
that. It's like they are continuously doing well together, right?
Mm. Exactly. You are a project manager of NHQ project for your company. You are working with your project team and project sponsor to create stakeholder management strategy. You want to determine the needed level of iteration among the project stakeholder, which document best help to them to complete this task. Project charter, stakeholder registry, stakeholder management plan, project management plan. I think stakeholder management plan.
Mm-hmm.
Juliet is hired as an agile coach for on a project and healthcare organization and in a process of adopting agile methodology. It is a medium-sized organization which multiple short-term projects run in parallel. She noticed high attrition within the organization and as development team members join and leave. So they take their knowledge along with them. As the result, when new developers join them, it find challenging to handle the business issues in the past. Former knowledge employees utilize to troubleshoot bugs and or take design related decision is unavailable. To better manage the knowledge and fill the skill gap, what is the best technique as agile coach can propose? Divergence, continuous integration, test driven development, pair programming. Test driven development is not there.
Mm-hmm.
I think it can be pair programming.
Very good.
What you will say about divergence? What is this? And continuous integration?
Well, divergence is like you have found out there is a conflict about technical opinion. Two people have different opinion about, you know, uh,
Mm.
design or solution to the problem. So there's a divergence, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Then continuous integration is that in the incremental development, if you remember, we have A, then A plus B, then A plus B plus C. So what you do
Mm.
you integrate the results
Uh,
of each release or
okay.
each sprint, right?
Mm-hmm.
Continuously, right? So you
Mm.
continuously develop and then continuously integrate.
Mm.
Test driven development, as you said, that we write test first, then write the code. If the code passes the test, code is okay. Otherwise, we keep writing the code. Okay, then pair programming is something where you provide a computer. So two developers work on the same computer, same system. So one is writing the code, other is reviewing the code. So the knowledge transfer can happen, right? So that the senior members, once they leave, because there is a lot of attrition, right? People are leaving quickly, or the organization loses the knowledge that it has, you know, with the people when they leave. So it's better you do pair programming so that each one gets to know what other knows, so that once they leave, they can continue to do that. This is the benefit of pair programming as well. One of the benefits is that you will identify the bugs early on, but the other benefit is that also there will be knowledge transfer. The tacit knowledge will transfer between these two.
Understood. Sarah CIO, the CIO wants to know why you have requested so many meetings with the user of the software your project is creating. While she acknowledges that user are stakeholder, she does not understand why these users should be involved during the initiation phase of the project. Should the stakeholder to be involved? No. Involving customer and stakeholders improve project performance is the part of stakeholder engagement. Involving customer and the stakeholder reduce project risk. What do you think?
So why you need to involve stakeholders early on, or why you should be emphasizing more there, because you don't want the surprises later on, right? Better you take the
Exactly.
stakeholders' opinions. Involving the stakeholders, oh, sorry, customers and other stakeholders improves project performance. Involving them is part of stakeholder engagement. Involving them reduces risks. Involving them is needed to obtain sponsorship. It's not A, it's not D, it's uh, either B or C, right?
I think
Overall,
B, the engagement.
overall, yeah, you're right. Overall, it should be engagement.
Because that will cover, discuss the risk. Maybe they will take the sponsorship, they will take the decisions. Josh is a Scrum Master of Acme Corporation. During the recent sprint, he noticed that some of the junior developers made mistake while not critical, had the potential to endanger the development of some of the feature. What should Josh do to help to avoid in this future? Privately chat with the member and explain they need to do better. Report the mistake to the PMO. Baselessly, blamelessly bring up the mistake at retrospective. Say nothing. I think first part is the correct answer. Privately, he can speak and deal the situation. You are the project manager of for your organization. You have identified several mistakes in project deliverables. You would like to investigate the issue more closely, and your project sponsor recommends you create Ishikawa diagram.
Ishikawa. Yeah.
Ishikawa diagram is a control chart. It's a fishbone diagram, scatter diagram, and Pareto chart. I think it's a control chart, no?
No, 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 no.
Yeah, that is the fishbone. Yeah. Ishikawa fishbone. What was the
Doctor
control chart?
Doctor Ishikawa, fishbone
Yeah,
and
trust.
root cause. Uh,
Mm-hmm. And control
analysis.
chart, what we were doing?
Control chart, we were
There was.
having an upper limit, lower limit, and then the
Yeah,
process
yeah, yeah.
between these two limits.
Yes, yes. Understood,
Scatter,
understood.
you know
Remember.
scatter diagram,
Scatter diagram, yeah.
you know?
Yeah, graphical representation
So there is a factor
showing
X and
scatter
there is a
for the
factor Y.
plotted area.
And then,
Mm.
yes, let's say if the sale of ice cream increases, okay, with the temperature. So
Mm.
you will see like this upward trend of the dots. As the temperature is increasing, you see, this is how you will see an upward trend going like this.
Mm.
Positive correlation. Increase the temperature, okay, and sale of ice cream will increase. Obviously, to some extent. So you will see the correlation. So this is a scatter diagram, which shows you that there is a positive correlation between these two variables. Pareto chart,
Right.
no, that is the histogram, but it is prioritized from high to low. Maybe we use it.
Mm-hmm. That other a little bit, yeah. Tom is a Scrum Master for project that is in its second iteration. Finished 25 story points in its first sprint. During recent sprint review, several stakeholders were confused over who was responsible completing various project tasks. How can Tom clear up this confusion? Refer the stakeholder to the role and responsibility of the project. Perform qualitative analysis to determine who is responsible for what. Refer stakeholder to project information radiator. Have the project team meet with the stakeholder. I think the meeting is more appropriate.
Where is the meeting?
But also, he can refer the roles and responsibility chart that
Yeah,
they are responsible.
true. But where is the meeting? Ah, this one.
Meet,
No, no. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
last one.
Yeah, I would say it's a issue of who is doing what, right? So more of roles and responsibilities. Agree?
Yes, I agree. Hedra is a Scrum Master for Project P, which is in its 9 week of development and has a velocity of 90 story points. Hedra has secured the budget to allow anyone on the team to nominate another team member for free coffee at local coffee shop. So, what is the best describe this setup? Management by exception, reward system, management reserve budget at completion. I think management by exception, or I don't know, but reward system is there, management reserve is there. I think management by exception.
But management by exception means that managers leaves you to do your work freely and then they decide when to intervene.
Hmm.
Exceptionally, they will just intervene as a manager.
Right, right, right. Then it can be management reserve.
Why management reserve? Management reserve is whenever you uh, determine your budget, so you will have two type of reserves on top of your budget. One will be your contingency reserve, that is for all type of risks, and then on top of it, on top of contingency reserves, you will add management reserves. So your first source of help, if there is any risk which comes, will be always contingency reserve. So you cover from your contingency. But your second source of help will be management reserves. So those are for those type of risk which normally does not happen. These are unknown unknowns. Okay. So non type of risks, these are handled by contingency reserves. But unknown means that we don't know what can happen and we don't know when can happen. So this is something we cannot foresee. So that is management reserve. That we, let's say 10% on top of my budget, I kept it for contingency. Okay. And 5% additionally on top of my uh, budget plus contingency is my management reserve, which management have it. I don't have it. It is on the discretion of management. They want to, uh, if they are okay, they will release it. If they are not okay, they will not release it. That is management reserve. Okay. So what is this
Then
example?
only the reward system then.
Yeah, it is reward system.
Sheldon is the Scrum Master for Project U, which is in completion, which is just completing its sixth iteration and has a velocity of 74 story points and is 6,000 over budget. In addition to closing out any completed task, what else should Sheldon do before the next iteration begin? Perform Monte Carlo analysis, meet with the stakeholder, update information radiator, hold sprint retrospective. I think he is over budget right now, so he should meet with the stakeholder.
No, but he, uh, in addition to closing out his all the any completed tasks, what shall Sheldon do before the next iteration begins? Which means, if you recall our ceremonies, when we meet daily, we do daily stand up. When we meet before the sprint start for planning the sprint, we do sprint planning. When we finish the sprint, we do sprint demo. But when we are out of the demo, when we are starting the next sprint, what do we do?
We will definitely do the planning for the
Retrospect,
next one.
lessons learned.
Ah, yeah. Yes. Definitely. We will meet for that iteration, and we will do like the lesson learned.
Yes.
We will do our lesson learned. Yeah.
Okay, 30. Shall we stop or you want to proceed?
No, boss. I think it's enough for today.
No? Okay, let's grade it. For the first time, still. Work breakdown structure is correct. Team member to investigate. Yes. These were new. This was new. First was repeat, right? Second was new. Task decomposition.
Yes.
You were right. Although I gave a lot of explanation around incremental. Task decomposition correct because epic needs to be broken down into smaller tasks such that some or all of them will fit within the velocity for them. Okay. Staffing is not the answer, resource is the answer. Okay. But we said that when the resource will start with you, right? That is there in the staffing.
Yeah, sure. Functional manager need to know when their worker will be released.
Ah, this is the end date.
Hmm.
We'll see. Where is our lecture? Seriously? Yeah, here you go. So you have the start date and the duration in the staffing management plan. So if the functional manager has given me a resource, I can safely say that when do I need the resource and for how many months I need from the staffing management plan, true? But if I go to the resource management plan, it tells me what type of resource I need. So the requirement is there, but exactly when I need it is not there, right? Are you with me?
Exactly, exactly. A
But at
resource,
least
a resource will tell only about the
the how I will be acquiring the resource, what type of resource, for how long, and the other needs of the resource, like um, this definitely the cost as well, the budget as well, and then how I will be managing the resource, especially their training needs and then maintenance of the equipment or whatever. So if you go back to the question, then we are fine with this staffing management plan because this is when we will staff the resources. Functional manager need to know when their workers will be released from your project. Which one of the following is a subsidiary project plan that documents this information? I would say, uh-huh, this is not a valid plan. Why? Staffing management plan does exist, man. What is this? Anyways, I think we were right because there is a purpose of staffing. So that is staffing.
on our answer.
Actually,
Yeah,
in resource management, there is a time also mentioned that how much hours we need the resource. Like there was some duration, right? So that's why it is saying that the question is saying that resource management plan will account for the employee's time on a project. But staffing management describes in bit detail, right? When and till when. So we don't agree with this explanation.
exactly.
Oh,
Yes.
you are right. Sapir-Whorf hypothesis.
Tukka.
Language make difference, and your guesswork worked also.
Mm.
Yeah, most of the questions were new, I think. I'm just passing through because we know these, right? Yeah, you see this acceptance test. Now you know what is exploratory test. Can you tell me what is exploratory test?
Test explores the top software.
Yes. So you are free, flexible. You can open any functionality, test it, and then go in depth, and then you are free to move that way, other way. You can explore the software, right? Without any set script, right?
Hmm.
Wow. Most of the questions we attempted correctly. And daily stand-up, daily stand. Call out. This was a repeat. This was a new. This was like what is not,
Exactly.
which was not. Wrong strategy. She used the wrong strategy to
Right.
resolve
You are right.
problem.
Exactly. You explained it right.
No. You didn't say Delphi.
Delphi, yeah. But I agreed with the explanation.
Yeah.
Definitely, maybe some forceful decision, maybe she implemented. So, although the conflict was resolved, but still demotivation was there. Yeah, stakeholder prioritize it. Yes, I think it's 2, 3 times we repeated this question.
Yes, you were
Performing
right. You were right. Stakeholder.
stakeholder management plan.
Wow, you were right. Pair programming.
Yes,
Now you have some understanding of agile and software development. You can catch things
right.
better. Understand.
Inshallah.
Oh, wrong. Really? Blamelessly bring up the mistake at retrospective and walk through ways to avoid them. Okay.
Actually, he did the mistake, but these were not critical. So, critical mistake can be discussed in retrospective as a walkthrough.
But
I don't
you
know,
will
but
not name, you will not call out a name or blame anybody.
but
So you will say, I'm
if
not.
some mistake I did it, and somebody is explaining it without naming my name, so definitely I will understand he is talking about me.
But again, he will not point at you. He will look straight. He will look at everybody. He will neither
But
let you down.
this as a candidate.
Blamelessly mean that you will not directly look at a person and start talking that we should not do, which means that we know you.
No, we should not do. You should no, we should not do. We are observing these recent mistakes. We should not do.
Fishbone is correct.
Exactly.
Roles and responsibility, you were correct. Reward system was the correct answer. Sprint
Yeah,
retrospect.
you are right. Yeah.
All right, man. I
Yes,
think
this
we are
you
done.
also did.
Delphi.
No. Some new points actually you explained, and I agreed. That's why Delphi is also there, but still the good things were there. You explained very well actually.